Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming. I'm going to play another very short video, or pretty short, of Strike Team Gladius because after I finished the last video and I was actually playing another mission for myself, I realised that although I've kind of covered all the basics, actually it would be kind of helpful to show people how it does look later on. And how difficult it can be, because just saying it doesn't really show you, and also I can show you some of the things that do actually happen rather than just tell you what happens. So we're on a much later mission. This is I think 17 or 18 in one of the playthroughs I'm doing. You can see that not only have you got to kill all the enemies, you have to finish within 22 turns, which is a thing. There's some time-based missions as well, so like I said, they get varied and difficult and different later on. And there we are. And just so you know, I've already played into this mission and got kind of wiped out, so I know kind of what to expect, and that's kind of one of the reasons I thought I'd do this, because I know it's a good example of how things can end up. So at the beginning you can't see any of the enemies, you can just see loads of crates and cover, and you just have to move people to kind of helpful places. I mean, the good or the bad thing about this game is that whatever you do, although you can't save mid-mission, no one dies and no one's injured, and you just start the mission again. So in that context there's no pressure, because you know you're going to be fine. But the pressure is, and it has happened to me with a few missions, this one's going to be one like that, but it's time-based. It's one where you have to pick up a computer from somewhere far away. It's as far away as where that dome thing is, and there's aliens all over the place. You've got to bring it back from there to where you start virtually. And the pressure then comes if you've kind of got well into a mission and you've just got to get one thing back, and you know it's one person left to do it because everyone else has been killed or they're very low health, and so there are pressures, even though you know you can replay it, because once you've, like with any game, once you've got far into it, you don't want to suddenly have to replay it. So here you get a tank thing as well. I think we've all moved, yeah. Okay, so that tank thing is under our control. There's the only alien we can see, and as you can see from it, it's much bigger than the things that we fought before. It doesn't tell you this. It's a scorcher, which might give it away, and where it says active skills, you have to kind of guess what those things are often, especially with the aliens, because you've got no way of ever practicing them. But you can see there's a kind of fiery thing, so you can kind of work out it's a scorcher and it burns. And I'll show you what it does actually, because I think my tank has got a shot. So if we go to the tank, if we've got a shot on that, I'm not sure if we have. No, we haven't. Okay, we'll do it next turn. So you can see the things are quite different. They get bigger, they get nastier. And you can see there, that did, yeah, as you can see, it burns, and it did a bit of damage, 27. It's not the end of the world damage, but I'll show you something now. So we can shoot that thing from here with our sniper. None of those crates are exploding, so that's 21 damage, that's okay. If we were to use our tank on that, which is very close up, you can see it fights back and it burns you, and that's a tank. So we did 21, I think, damage to it by shooting it with a tank, and it did, I think, 17, was it? In retaliation, and that's a tank. So as I was saying in the other video, it's not always a good thing to be shooting at all these things and get some health back for our tank. So with that kind of thing, as I said, you'd want to be shooting it with your sniper, because if you shoot it from close up, and close up means anyone who's not a sniper basically, it's going to damage you back as much, if not more, than you're damaging it. And that can be quite difficult, because sometimes, and you'll see in a bit when I move people in, there's more than one of those, and then you've got a whole lot of things that you can't really kill without kind of letting them shoot at you, or without a sniper, or without shooting at crates. And there's no explosive crates that I can see anywhere nearby. So also I'll show you something else, because I'm not going to play through this whole mission, but it'll be long. This is the Techromancer. And as I think I mentioned before, they can make a turret. So how that would be is bring them there, you go into your abilities. Now you can see we've got much more abilities. Attack you on field, that can be very useful. You can make that anywhere, and you can make as many as you want. I mean, you need to keep recharging your points, but you can make as many as you want, and you can use that on yourself or a couple of your squad mates or a tank or anything. So that can be useful. But this is the thing I was going to show you. So you make a turret, and you make a turret, say there, and it looks like that, and then you've got control of the turret, which has got a pretty long shot. It's almost as good as a sniper. As you can see, it can shoot that from a long way off, and it shoots pretty well, and you get 2 shots of it. So that can be a lifesaver. It's very tempting to think you can shoot that thing. Maybe we can shoot it with this. Let's see if we can one-shot it with this, because otherwise it will fire back again. Yeah. It panicked, but it was dead, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, like I said, the abilities of all your squad, they continue to add on. You don't have any decisions or input into what adds on, but they do. I'm not sure yet. I haven't played this game long enough to know whether these often different things add on, or they always get the same ones, but there are a lot. So you need to be always checking if there's a new ability. Sniper can go somewhere where they might be able to shoot something next time. That one's got the jet jump, so we don't need to move that far. We'll keep her back and as a kind of reserve. Okay, that'll do. So that's a few of the things, but it can get pretty hard. Now that's just one thing, remember, we've just shot one thing so far, and it's damaged our tank a bit. Tanks can be useful, but they're not super invincible or anything like that, so if you've got a tank, don't think you can just, go driving headlong into combat and you'll be fine, because you won't be. For this demonstration so there's another unpleasant looking thing that's different to the ones before, because it's bigger, it's different, it's a elite thing. There is an attack summary for this one, and it counter-attacks with a 95% hit chance, damage 37 to 67, so it's got very high damage from shooting back again. And that, I've found in this game so far, becomes the biggest problem, because the fact you can't shoot these things close up, and the most you can really have is 2 snipers. You are only 2 of each of the class types in the people you can recruit. So we can shoot him from a distance, that's going to be fine, he's dead. But it limits what you can do with everybody else, because then everybody else is having to use the other abilities, because you can't be shooting people directly. So it can be a bit difficult, and I found that's actually the most difficult thing in this game so far, is that you can't directly shoot some of these things because they've got such a high return fire. So we're just moving people in. Like I said, I'm not going to play this mission through because it's going to be a bit long, and there's another one of those things. So and again, same, you'll have the same problem with that because you can't really shoot it. You can jet jump turrets, which is very useful because otherwise they'd be stuck in one place. So that can be handy. That's very handy actually. Okay. But like I said, the way you'll win the later stages, and I'm nowhere near halfway through this round, this section, this game playthrough, is by using your abilities. You won't be able to win. It's like Phoenix Point. You can't win just by running and shooting everything because they'll outgun you and they'll out-return fire you more to the point. So you'll need to be doing something different. And that means using all the abilities you have. You'll probably have to use command points, as you can see on the top right. I've got 8 now because I've been saving them up. I think I used a couple in one mission once. And you've seen from the earlier missions how many, and there's another one of those things that you can't shoot. You've seen from the earlier missions how many aliens you can get just in the early missions. So you know you've seen like a couple of things here. I've killed 2. So you know that somewhere back there, you can see all those little exclamation marks. There's going to be a whole heap of unpleasantness waiting. So you don't want to be fooled into thinking, let's just run in and kill. So you see those things have very high damage. That just shot us and we're 3/4 dead and bleeding. Bleeding can be bad because if you don't do something about it, luckily she's a medic, but if you don't do something, you can just die. I've had, early on when I didn't kind of think about it, I had people just die because I forgot they were bleeding out. So bleeding is a thing. And see now this one's in trouble already because if he shoots her again, or that thing shoots again, we'll die. So we'll try and get them out of the way. But then we're back in that same situation where we can't shoot them except with a sniper. And there's a thing around there which we can't shoot really. It's not as bad as that one. That one's really high damage. So we need to kill that. But yeah, you can see the general thing. It's another one of those things there. So it's a lot like I said, it's a lot like Phoenix Point in that later on, I'm not sure if we explode that, that's going to damage that. Let's just see. It's a lot like Phoenix Point. Later on it gets very difficult. And you need to use all your abilities and all your skills and anything you can do, including exploding crates or command points or anything, to try and win, because the aliens get much stronger. And as you saw from that example actually where that alien shot us, their attacks and return fires increase a lot, and not only do their attacks and return fire increase a lot, the aliens get bigger, they have more hit points, so it can be something that's going to explode there. Let's do that. Oh, that didn't do much. But yeah, so you'll need to kind of think through, and that's kind of fun. It's fun to try and think through, but like I said, it can be difficult to think through what you can do, because I would say, again, a bit like Phoenix Point, you can't start off by losing people. In XCOM, especially later on, you can lose. I've lost lots of people early on, not early on in the mission, not early on in the game, early on in the mission, and if you've got one person with a stealth suit and a good weapon and lots of abilities, they can destroy a facility almost on their own if you do it right. But in this, if you lose a couple of people very early, and it's easily possible, you won't manage to complete a mission. You'll need all the people you have, or at least as many as you can get through. So we can't shoot at that anymore. That's another thing I need to show you. You can also spawn infantry, and you can also spawn it's like a higher grade infantry, that one. So we'll do that, and I'll tell you why we'll do that, because the chance that your tank gets destroyed at some point is high. So actually I didn't need to move the tank, but anyway, we'll leave that to cover the new infantry. So the best thing, if you get that tank with the ability to summon infantry or high grade infantry, elite infantry, use them, because you never know when your tank can get destroyed, and then once it's destroyed, obviously you can't do that anymore. So okay, we'll finish that turn. Still got that thing there. I'm going to come and burn our tank a bit. Probably some pleasant things around there as well. There's a lot of line of sight in this, so there's some things very close behind there, but because we haven't got line of sight we couldn't see them, and now we can, and looking at the state of them we wish we hadn't, so they don't look very pleasant. I don't know what that is. I've seen it before, but I can't remember what it does. Chase damage. Not as bad damage in return, but it does do damage in return. It's a hunter. Again, it's got quite a high attack, so I think it's a melee. I think it's a melee thing, but that doesn't matter because we're in melee range. So we'll have at some point you have to try and do something with some of these, because you get to a point where you'd like to just be shooting them with your snipers and things like that, but you kind of can't. So that person's kind of ends up in the middle of the tank, and they missed. Typical. That's their first shot in the whole mission, and they missed. So fantastic. So we really want to shoot this thing, because this thing's got such a high... such a high attack. You want to kill it as quick as you can. But yeah, I mean, you can see with this, so basically, yeah, it sets fire to your tank, and in this situation we have to try and kill it even though it's going to return fire, because you get to a point where you can't just rely on the sniper and people being killed in return fire or finding an explosive crate. So, and you can see from there there's going to be a lot more things up there, so I think we're going to have to shoot at that, because I think we can't just stand there, and there's two of them, and there's probably something, it looks like there's something around there because there's that red exclamation mark there, so you can't see that yet. So they're melee, so that's good, kind of. That one's still injured, so I don't really want to put them in a risky situation. That one's too far back, so we'll move forward. But yeah, as you can see, it gets plenty difficult. I want to see what's behind that thing, but it still won't tell me. Yeah, it gets plenty difficult pretty quick. Still can't see. Okay, so another thing with that, as I said, you can also, there's other abilities as well, but you can also use some infantry. They're just kind of standard infantry. They don't do anything amazing, but they're useful. One more gun, one more person to send ahead to get killed, to find out what's going on, rather than sending one of her own guys, because the infantry and that you summon, and they don't matter. It's a bit like taking control of guys in Phoenix Point where you go to a base, one of the faction bases, and you take control of some of their soldiers. If you get them killed, it doesn't matter at all. The faction don't blame you, they don't even remember their names, and you can use them as cannon fodder or as scouts or whatever. So now we can see there's another one of those things with the long arms that spouts fire behind there, and again that one's injured, so, and that one's got medical, so we don't want that one to die specifically, so I couldn't really leave them there actually. Well, that was a bad idea. It's one of those games that also can turn, again, not like XCOM, because I think XCOM is very plannable, and what I mean by that is not only do later on in game the enemies, the advents don't upgrade hugely quickly, but also you kind of can reasonably work out what they're going to miss. Great. You can kind of work out what they're going to do. So it's not that easy to end up suddenly in a really bad situation unless you've kind of been a bit too cavalier with it, or you've not really thought about what you're doing. Whereas in this, again, a bit like Phoenix Point, you can suddenly find yourself in a really bad situation when you thought it was going really well. It's easy to do. So she's used all hers. We need someone to... I want someone to shoot that ice, so let's get out. For some reason, when you go through the things you can control with your R1, L1 things, it doesn't ever give you the turret. I don't know why, it just doesn't. So you have to actually physically go on it and click it. Yeah, and then you can jump the turret. And as I said before, the turrets are absolutely invaluable. The two things I'd say in this game that are always worth having regardless are snipers, which I think goes without saying, because I think anyone who played any game, regardless of if it's turn-based, any squad kind of thing, snipers are invaluable. And also Techromancer with those turrets, apart from the other things which are also good. Actually, I'll show you the other thing in a minute. So if we go there, and then we've got these things, which is Tachyon Field, which gives you a higher attack, higher evasion. Doesn't mean you're invincible, and it looks like that. Very pretty. And that means if we can shoot that, what I'll show you, we shoot that, and oh, we can't shoot that, we're not quite in range. I don't think we really want to go forward to get in range, because we'll go one step forward. Okay. She's using a pistol, so that's been good damage for a pistol. So we'll just go back in there. Again, there's no tech in this that's like invincibility or something like that, but these things, and this one's going to run away because she's on low health. And we will use... I don't really like using medical kits on the doctors, because they should be using it on the other people, but she's been killed a lot for no obvious reason. So we're going to get a sniper to go there. We're so confident our sniper can kill that thing. We'll go on the critical hit, because we're sure in 2 shots we can kill that. Even if we miss with one. We missed with one, and they burn us, so that was a bad idea. And we, see. So, actually, the game just demonstrated how something can... I demonstrated by my being a bit stupid and a bit cavalier, and the game demonstrated how you could suddenly go from being kind of okay to kind of not okay. So we were doing quite well, and then stupidly I sent my sniper there to get the critical boost, a bit too close to the thing, but I didn't need to, and they missed with 2 shots and got a return fire that set fire to us, and we're almost dead. So that's very bad, and no one is going to save. This one's got a jump, so we'll use that because she's got medical. We won't probably be able to do anything, but at least we'll get nearer. We need to kill that thing at least. So yeah, as I've just demonstrated accidentally, or was it on purpose? Let's say it was on purpose. You can easily get overconfident, you can easily, yeah, she's going to die. You can easily make a mistake like that, and that's cost us our sniper, and that was just by being careless. And because it's because the battles look like this, and what I mean is they're kind of randomly, kind of, you know, there's not streets and things like there is in XCOM, or those kind of buildings, or Phoenix Point kind of areas where they're all kind of in a structured way, and there's random aliens all over the place, everywhere you look, coming out from behind things that are right in front of you, all over the place, everywhere. It's very easy to kind of get a bit, kind of confused almost. It's easy to forget what you're trying to do, to forget how many more aliens you might be further back, to make a mistake, because I find that it's harder to kind of plan ahead, one because of how the aliens behave, and there's so many of them, and because of the way you can't fire at them and all those things I've already mentioned, but also because there's no obvious routes, there's no streets, there's no obvious cover except these little crates and things like that. So it's much harder, and it's very easy to kind of get ahead of yourself, and like that. See, I did it again. So there, as I've demonstrated on purpose, of course, all the things I was talking about, which is to not get ahead of yourself. And again, see, classic XCOM mistake. You run too far out of cover thinking you just want to kill this one thing, and then you find there's a load of unfriendly things. I don't even know what that is. I have seen it, but I can't remember what it does. It's a brood matron. So what that is, and I know this from playing, it's a melee thing, but it does a lot of melee, and so you've got a lot of them there, and they're not going to be easy to kill. Let's just see, they've got 80 life points, and that's quite a lot. So we don't want to move that one. We've already lost one person. We've got our tank thing. If we could kill one of these things explode with acid, I think, from memory. But smoke bomb, no. Suppressive fire, no. What's that? Explosive round. Well, we'll have that, because sometimes if you've got passive abilities and you're not doing anything else, you might as well use them, because the action points reset pretty fast. So if you've got passive abilities, boosts and things like that, you might as well use them rather than not, because then you've got them and you've not wasted your points, because they will reset quick. So again, that one's injured, and now we're even more under pressure. Oh, that one's got better. They do heal over time, by the way, as you can see. I'm not convinced that... Oh, she's got a good... Actually, I'll show you this if I can. She's got a thing which is like a kind of... It's like that psionic thing you get in XCOM, where you fire a long beam at things. I think it's called a null lance or something in XCOM, I can't remember. Oh, we're too far away. But there's a thing like that where you can fire, I'll tell you what it says. It's like a null lance from XCOM, but it's yeah, in a straight line. It's very similar to that, except they call it a laser arc, but it works similarly. But it can be very good if you can get a few things in a row. So we might leave her there and hope they line up in a nice, obliging fashion. When you go through these cycling through things using R1 and L1, again, it doesn't register the soldiers that you've created from nothing from the tank, so you'll have to keep remembering that you've got them. It's easy to forget. They're not going to do tons of damage or anything amazing, but it won't register then. So somewhere there's another soldier. See, and I forgot about that one, because it doesn't remind you when you click through, and you'll just forget they're there. So it could be worse. And then we need to move this. And as I said, we have the ability to make another one of those. So they're very, very valuable. I think that's everything. So these things, they do a lot of damage, and they look crazy, and you can see how much they've damaged that tank to the point that it's almost killed. And they're on top of it, and I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything about that really. And you always have to remove and see if we can at least damage some of these things, but they don't fire back. So there's that acid blood spray thing, which can be good, but it didn't do a lot. And then you can see there's more of these ones with the very good guns. I think there's a thing where one of them has, it might be that one, Grunt Heavy Gunner, sounds charming, where they have an armour disintegration gun, which can do a lot of damage to any of your guys and tanks and things, so that can be very bad. So they have a good variety of enemies. Almost dead. Where's that guy? Okay, so this random soldier is in the right place to do the one thing he's probably ever going to do, is kill that. Fantastic. I think we'll bring that one over there because she's got some good stuff. Oh, well that was not what we wanted. It was an alien mine. So as I said again, you have to really think about what you're doing, like I didn't there, because it's very easy, very, very easy to suddenly snatch defeat from victory. This isn't victory by any sense, but it's very easy to suddenly do something that's gonna put your situation from being not that bad to not good. So you've got, this one's got all these abilities, and again, like I said, you might as well use some of these things to counter-attack evasion. You might as well use that. Again, you can never be sure quite how well that works, but like I said, these things, the points come back pretty fast, so you might as well. She's got the same, well not the same, but it's a cloak, it kind of does the same thing, evasion, so again, looks nice. I want to put that one there, but there's a barrel and I might like it explode. There's quite a lot of unpleasantness over there. And bearing in mind, I've not mentioned it since the beginning of the mission, but we're on a time scale, we're finishing in 22 turns, so it's not like we've got limitless time. No, I've not been considering that at all. Same. Where's that? But like I said, because of the way, and it's just me, maybe I've played XCOM and Phoenix Point a lot, and even Necromunda, but because this is much more kind of randomly unstructured on a planet surface with very little other than just this terrain, this kind of deserty, sandy ground terrain, it's much more easy to lose focus on what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go, I find, and that probably is just me because I've played the other games a lot, but Okay, we'll go with that, see what they do. I see armour disintegration, that's that thing, and that guy, as I said, that was his one. I knew that was going to happen, that's his one. Tank's gone as well, that's bad. Round 10, so we've got 12 rounds still to. So as you can see, and I'm not going to play the other 12 rounds on this, but like I said, it will take a long time. But like I said, you've seen from that. So this situation, I would say, is, I'm just going to shoot these because I want to. But this situation is, I would say, if that person can actually shoot something. It can be very bad in this game, and she's proving it there, to miss. Because if you shoot at anything that can shoot back and you miss, they hit you. And they seem to hit quite well, actually. They seem to hit more often than we do. Then you're kind of, for want of a better term, screwed because you're missing and they're killing you. So there's a big drawback to shooting and missing in this. But again, you've got to shoot. There's not much else you can do, so you have to do something. So, and that one will shoot back. We're too far away, that's good, but we missed. So we don't want that one to shoot again because they've actually got quite low health now from missing, but to be honest, serves them right if they can't hit anything. It's time. But yeah, as you can see, it can be quite challenging, and I would say at this point, as I was saying before, it's probably about 50-50 of whether I'll succeed in this mission or not. And the difference will be, because I've lost a sniper and we've lost a tank, the random soldier didn't really matter, he's already forgotten. But it's the turrets that will make the difference, and there she is. And because she's not got anything else to do, no, not her. There she is, and because she's not got anything else to do, oh, actually we haven't got enough points because we just used some, but if you, again, same with the tank when you're spawning new soldiers, you might as well make the turrets because as you see, you can jump them, and you never know when the Technomancer might be killed. You never know when anyone might be killed in this game. So if they've got something that they can make, the best thing is to get them to do it quick. Actually, I'm gonna go and heal that person because we can't really afford to lose any more. And again, a bit like all these games, and even non-turn based, you'll find that, you know, your play style or the kind of units that you'll do well will be the kind you like. And you know, there are melee in this. I haven't got one in this squad, but the melee, which some people will do really well with, but I don't like in these kind of games. I'd use them in Dungeons in Dragon Age or something like that, or Witcher, obviously, but I don't like them in these kind of games. But you know, some people do really well with them, so that person's going to have to do something because they haven't got the option to sit around anymore. And we'll see what else she's got. Like I said, it's impossible to remember what everybody's got all the time. Well, that might be useful. You might get something. What is it? Let's see. It's a damage boost. Okay, it's all right. So yeah, it's very. It's a complete like toss up when you're playing this between you have to shoot people and you have to do something, which is like most of these games. You have to do something. You can't be passive. Well, XCOM you can because you can kind of overwatch people a lot, but it doesn't work in this, it doesn't work in Phoenix Point. So you have to do something, but the things fire back a lot, and so you have to kind of balance out how to do it, when to shoot. Now that one's got a shield, and that thing's almost dead. So for example, you can kill him and she'll miss again. So then that proves to be a not good decision, but we're still going to go with it because I don't care now. I'm going to kill that. I don't care whether we die doing it. It's just annoying. I don't know if you've been counting, but I think that squad member in the pinks had about 7 shots so far. That's the first time she's hit anything. I think partially it's because she's got a shotgun, but even so, I mean, it shouldn't be that range dependent and that close up dependent, because we were very close last time. So, don't know. She's just useless. Okay, with that pistol, Techromancer pistol thing can be useful. To finish things off, you won't kill these later game enemies with a pistol, but you can certainly finish them off. So that can be a useful thing. Yeah, you get to that point where you've got to do something, because if you don't, you're just standing waiting to be shot. So again, she's got 3 shots, let's have a go. Yes. Ah, okay, and that's another thing you never know is going to happen. That just happened at the right moment, so I was going to finish the video anyway. So as you can see, we've done it. You never know quite when you're going to do that. It's happened a few times. It happens in Phoenix Point as well, where you think you're still aliens and suddenly they've run away, and in this suddenly there's no more aliens. I thought it was going to be more further back, but they weren't. So as you can see, the team experience points, I have no idea how they worked that out, because the one on the right that's got 100%, that was a surgeon that got shot up really early and we had to keep healing, and she didn't do much because we were hiding a lot. So how she got 100%, I don't know. I don't know if it's just completely random and they just make this up, or whether there's actually some algorithm to it, but anyway, she's leveled up to level 5, so that's nice for her. We got a cannon, which is worth a lot of money, 3,920 in gold, so that's good. And we got a pair of bracers which are worth 12,000, so we'll think about whether we use those or whether we sell them, because we could do a lot with things like that. I don't think anyone can equip that other thing, but we'll just get it out of the way. So yeah, so you can tell that was meant to be quite a hard mission by the fact that we got quite good stuff from the field of battle. But yeah, that mission kind of demonstrates, it worked out very well time-wise as well, because it finished at the right moment. I did it in 11, 12 turns, and as you saw all the various things that can happen, how you can literally combat too many aliens with turrets and snipers, how you can be just off the ball for a moment. With my sniper I moved in too quickly and she missed twice and she got killed. Someone moved onto a mine because I wasn't looking properly. Someone missed 3 or 4 shots at something and got return fired on a lot and lost a lot of health. But because of the turrets and the fact we early on didn't get anyone killed or have anyone really badly hurt early except one, and we had those extra soldiers, and although they only did one thing, one soldier killed one person, that one thing was worthwhile. So it showed you a very good balance of the things you kind of need to do to survive and the things that can suddenly spoil your game. And it's not obvious in this game, especially later when, as you just saw, I didn't know, when you're going to end, because it's further back there's going to be alien eggs or other aliens, and in that mission there wasn't, but I didn't know. I didn't know, and there's nothing I can look at on the battlefield to tell me whether there was or not, because if there were aliens much further back you wouldn't be 100% sure they would register. So anyway, there you go, that's Strike Team Gladius mission, I think that was mission 17, 18, 19, something like that. Hopefully that's shown you a bit more of what can happen and what to kind of prepare for, and what things you might need to do early, and what tactics you might need to employ. I may play another mission of this, it won't be next time, but I may play another mission of this later on, some more missions down the line just to show you if it gets completely crazy difficulty, because that might be interesting. But other than that, anyway, thank you for watching and take care.